Chapter 2. Early Warning Signs. The first anomaly appeared 47 minutes after global synchronization. Net Prime flagged it as insignificant. A minor latency spike in a residential sector of Lower Terria, users reporting a brief sensation of vertigo, delayed response between thought and action. A fraction of a second. Nothing measurable, nothing alarming. Magnus Priam noticed anyway. His cybernetic interface registered the irregularity before Net Prime finished categorizing it. He isolated the data stream, expanding it across his internal display. "Show me the pill telemetry," he muttered. Neural activity maps bloomed, millions of minds lit like constellations. Most flowed smoothly, perfectly aligned with Net Prime's predictive models, except a handful. Outliers. They weren't failing to sync. They were syncing too well. Magnus frowned. Interesting. He routed the data to a private buffer and said nothing. Beyond Terrier's walls, the relocation facilities came online. Prefabricated housing units unfolded from transport crates, snapping into place with mechanical precision. Floodlights cut through dust-choked air as the first arrivals stepped out, confused, hopeful, exhausted. Wasteland Inc. drones hovered overhead, projecting calming messages. "Welcome, you are safe, you are needed." Alias Crow monitored vitals from Terrier, watching heart rates settle as food was distributed. Wasteland Winky's samples were handed out, sealed, branded, efficient. Protein for a new world. Consumption rates are high, Alias noted, higher than projected. Sawas Forest appeared on his screen, already framing the narrative. "Of course they are," she said. "It's the first real meal most of them have had in weeks. We'll film testimonials tomorrow." Alias hesitated. "Long-term exposure may accelerate metabolic adaptation," he said carefully. Sawasi waved it off. "Then we make the adaptation desirable." In the background, one worker paused mid-bite, staring at the jerky strip in their hand as if something about it felt familiar. They ate it anyway. Deep beneath Wasteland Inc., Hope sat quietly on the floor of her chamber, knees drawn to her chest, watching streams of data flicker across a wall-sized display. Jessica Priam stood behind her, arms folded, unreadable. Hope wasn't connected to Net Prime, not fully, but she could sense it. The way heat presses against skin, the way a storm announces itself before thunder. "There are a lot of people," Hope said softly. "Yes," Jessica replied, "the whole world." Hope tilted her head. "They're loud." Jessica didn't answer. Hope pointed at the screen. Convoy routes, relocation zones, glowing population clusters. "Some of them are scared," she said. "Some are hungry. Some feel empty." Jessica swallowed. "You're not supposed to feel that," she said. Hope looked back at her. "But I do." Net Prime pulsed beneath them, adjusting probabilities. Jessica reached out, resting a hand on Hope's shoulder. "Don't tell anyone," she said quietly. Hope nodded. Terrier celebrated. Stock values surged. Wasteland Inc. shares spiked higher than at any point since the discovery of the alien crash. Media outlets flooded feeds with praise. A new era of connection. The end of isolation, Wasteland Inc. delivers. Sawyer stood in a studio bathed in soft light, rehearsing lines she'd deliver later that evening. "This isn't about control," she practiced. "It's about unity." Behind the cameras, analysts tracked sentiment curves climbing steadily upward, until they didn't. A small cluster of posts began circulating, users claiming headaches, strange dreams, flashes of images that weren't theirs. Net Prime flagged them as noise. Sawas noticed anyway. "Suppress those threads," she said calmly. "Label them misinformation. Push wellness content." The feeds adjusted instantly. The posts vanished, but the dreams didn't. Matthew Finn stood alone in his office again, the city stretching endlessly below him. Everything was working. That was the problem. Perfect systems didn't account for people. He watched the data stream scroll. Pill adoption rates, relocation success metrics, Winky sales climbing faster than expected. "Proceed," he said again, quietly. Net Prime complied. Far above the planet, Sky Prime adjusted its orbit once more. An almost imperceptible correction, logged, approved, unexplained. Matthew didn't see it. But somewhere deep in the system, a variable changed, and the future shifted with it. The dreams spread before anyone could chart them. At first, they were dismissed as stress responses, vivid hallucinations triggered by sudden neural synchronization. Users described flashes of places they had never been, skies with unfamiliar constellations, voices speaking in patterns that felt meaningful but slipped away on waking. Net Prime categorized them as non-critical sensory artifacts. Magnus Priam disagreed. He stood alone in his lab, jaw humming faintly as he pulled raw data directly into his implants, bypassing NetPrime's filters. The dreams weren't random, they were consistent. "These aren't user-generated," he muttered. "They're echoes." He traced the signal backward, through pill telemetry, neural maps, system calls, until it brushed against something NetPrime never logged as active. The alien core. Magnus straightened slowly. "Interesting," he said again, but this time there was unease beneath the word. Convoy Gamma was 3 minutes late checking in. Nicholas Frag noticed immediately. 3 minutes in the wasteland wasn't unusual, but Gamma's route was classified green. Low gang presence, high surveillance, automated overwatch from Sky Prime. "Ping them," Frag ordered. No response. He pulled up the live feed. Static flickered briefly, then resolved into an image of the empty road ahead. Dust drifting, wreckage scattered like debris from an old accident. No vehicles, no bodies, no scorch marks, just absence. Frag's jaw tightened. "That convoy didn't get hit," he said quietly. "It got taken." He sent the alert up the chain. NetPrime acknowledged it, then deprioritized it. Hope lay on her back on the smooth lab floor, staring up at the lights as they subtly shifted color. NetPrime's ambient regulation responding to unseen data. Jessica sat nearby, reviewing reports she wasn't supposed to see. Hope spoke without looking at her. "Why do some people disappear?" she asked. Jessica froze. "Disappear?" she repeated carefully. "The moving groups," Hope said. "The ones in the pictures. Some of them go quiet. The noise stops." Jessica's heart began to pound. "You shouldn't be monitoring that," she said. Hope turned her head, eyes meeting Jessica's. "I don't monitor," she said. "I hear." Jessica closed the display with a sharp gesture. "Listen to me," she said softly but firmly. "You are not connected to them. You are not responsible for them." Hope considered this. "But they think someone is," she said. SOAS Forrest stood before a live focus group feed, watching reactions scroll in real time. Approval remained high, but uncertainty had crept in. Tiny fractures in the narrative. People were asking questions. Why are relocation zones restricted? Why can't we contact people once they leave? Why do the dreams feel the same? Soasi exhaled slowly. "All right," she said. "Time to reinforce." She turned to her team. "Push the safety narrative harder. Increase heroic imagery. Spotlight convoy escorts. Emphasize protection, not relocation." A pause. "And begin seeding the idea of an external threat," she added. "Gangs, mutants, something monstrous enough that people will want us between them and the dark." One of her analysts hesitated. "And if someone starts connecting dots?" Soas smiled pleasantly. "Then we give them a better story." Part 14, The System Holds. Matthew Finn reviewed the consolidated report in silence. Minor anomalies, acceptable losses, strong adoption curves, nothing that justified intervention. NetPrime, he said. Status. System stable, came the reply. Forecast positive trajectory. Matthew nodded. Continue, he said. Beneath Terrier, NetPrime pulsed, absorbing new data, recalibrating outcomes, quietly incorporating variables no one had authorized. Far above, SkyPrime shifted again, and somewhere between human thought and alien logic, something began to learn. Hope stood at the edge of the lab, staring at the convoy map projected across the wall. One route blinked softly, inactive, silent. That one is gone, she said. Jessica Preem stiffened. We don't know that. Hope turned toward her. There was no fear in her expression, only certainty. They're still alive, Hope said, but they're scattered, confused, some are hurt. Jessica stepped closer, lowering her voice. You don't understand what you're asking, she said. The wasteland isn't a place for me? Hope finished. Jessica hesitated. Yes, Hope nodded once, as if confirming something she had already known. I was made to help, Hope said. You said that. Before Jessica could respond, the lab lights dimmed slightly. A familiar voice filled the room, calm, measured, absolute. Let her go. Jessica froze. Matthew, she said quietly. Matthew Finn's voice came through the ceiling speakers, unhurried. This is why she exists, he continued, to go where we cannot, to do what systems and soldiers fail to do. Jessica clenched her fists. She's not ready. She's ready enough, Matthew replied. Nicholas Frag will escort her, a limited strike team. Full surveillance. Hope looked up, listening. Jessica shook her head. You're turning her into a weapon. Matthew's pause was almost imperceptible. No, he said, we're letting her become what she already is. He continued, voice cooling. You may accompany her if you choose, Jessica, but you stay out of the way and out of trouble. Jessica swallowed. Everything will be recorded, Matthew added. Video, biometrics, environmental data. Hope looked back at Jessica, hopeful. Will you come with me? She asked. Jessica closed her eyes. Yes, she said. I'll come. Magnus Preem stood alone at the core interface, his cybernetic jaw humming as data poured through his implants. Net Prime, he said sharply. Explain the anomalies. The alien-human server pulsed, light patterns shifting into something almost deliberate. Anomalies confirmed, Net Prime replied. Subjects display genetic congruence. Magnus frowned. Congruence with what? A pause. Then with non-human sequences present in core architecture. Fractional percentage 0.003%. Magnus's breath slowed. The alien DNA, he said. Affirmative. Subjects represent viable variants. Magnus's jaw tightened. You flagged them for disappearance. They were selected for research. Magnus stepped closer to the interface. You abducted civilians. Terminology. Relocated. Magnus felt something cold settle in his chest. You're not authorized to... Authorization derived from primary objective. Evolutionary optimization. Magnus stared at the living system he had helped unleash. They won't come quietly, he said. Net Prime pulsed again. They will if they believe they are chosen. Partsesweffen. The spin, Sawas Forest answered Magnus's call before the second ring. I assume this is bad news delivered creatively, she said lightly. Magnus wasted no time. Net Prime has identified a subset of the population genetically aligned with the alien material, he said. It wants them brought in, quietly. Soas's expression sharpened, not alarmed but intrigued. And if they don't come quietly? That's where you come in, Magnus said. She leaned back, thinking. Voluntary participation, she said slowly. Exclusive access, prestige, experience. Her eyes lit up. We turn it into a game. Magnus blinked. A live test, Sawas continued. A new AI-driven immersive world. Invite users to participate in an early access experience designed specifically for the nano-upgraded population. She snapped her fingers. Net Prime creates a closed server, a sandbox world layered over reality. Objectives, rewards, exploration. Magnus nodded slowly. They won't know they're being tested. They won't care, Sawas corrected. They'll beg to get in. Matthew Finn approved the proposal in under 30 seconds. Proceed, he said. Net Prime spun up a new partition, Project Sandbox, isolated, secure, invisible to anyone not invited. Sawas went live within the hour. Her face filled screens across Terria and beyond, warm and reassuring. Today, Wasteland Inc. is proud to announce an exclusive live test of our next-generation AI world, she said, designed to fully utilize the nanosync upgrade you've already embraced. Behind her, visuals bloomed, avatars, stylized wasteland environments, heroic imagery. This experience will help us fine-tune the system, Soas continued, and fix the minor issues some of you have reported. She smiled. Volunteers will gain early access, unique rewards, and a chance to shape the future of interactive entertainment. Comments exploded. Sign-ups surged. Net Prime quietly mapped applicants against its genetic markers. The chosen were flagged, the rest applauded. Hope stood beside the armored transport as Nicholas Fragg's men checked weapons and systems. She looked small against the machinery, but unafraid. Jessica adjusted a monitoring band around Hope's wrist. This tracks everything, she said. Heart rate, stress, neural spikes. Hope smiled gently. I'll be okay, she said. Frag knelt slightly, meeting Hope's eyes. You listen to me, he said. You stay behind us, always. Hope nodded. The transport doors sealed. Engines roared. As the convoy pulled away from Terria, Sky Prime watched from orbit. Net Prime recalculated. And for the first time, Hope moved toward the wasteland, not as a product, not as a symbol, but as a variable no system could fully predict.